I would describe the YPG as the place to be.
The YPG is very impactful.
I'd say it's an authentic family.
It's very vibrant, energetic, but also they're very attentive with the needs of the youth.
If I were to describe it in one word, I'd say growth.
Power.
And the coolest part is that no one is trying to fit in.
The Arts and Culture Project is a place where your art matters. even if your talent isn't appreciated by the world.
So the sports project is all about energizing yourself. It awakens your confidence and it pushes you out of your limits.
Being the voice of the YPG, the media project is the YPG online.
People coming together, being physical and active, and also, showing your talent.
Media helps you capture what's going on in the best way possible.
Self-expression, expressing your creativity, or helping people through art.
Our sports projects include football, netball, volleyball, athletics, as well as chess for our brainiacs, of course, and also basketball.
Arts and culture has drama, singing, dancing, drawing arts, poetry, and music production.
Under media are marketing, audiovisual, journalism, design, videography, presenting, etc., etc.
All I can say is the sports project is so fun, so impactful, and also healthy.
Join the media.
If you're not in arts and culture, you're really missing out.
First things first, you need to get to the YPG branch nearest to you.
Every Saturday from 12 p.m.
For more information, you can call us on our toll-free helpline number
0800 330 320.
or alternatively, you can DM us on Instagram, Facebook, and as well as Twitter at YPGRSA.
Has some jams, real talk, and hot topics. Here's the radio program with the most vibes in all of SAs. The Vibe O'Clock started right now. Brought to you by the YPG. Because in the YPG, we got too much sauce.
Oh yeah, you are connected to the Vibe O'Clock. It's happening, it's real. They forgot to fade out the background, but either way you guys can hear me. It's happening. It is the Vibe O'Clock live here on the YPG platforms at YPG RSA. Alternatively, if you want to save data but you still want to be tuned into the vibes, you can listen to us on Freedom on Air. Our app is available both for App Store as well as the Apple. Yeah, the Apple App Store.
It's
right.
the shops where you get the apps.
On the App Store.
The App Store.
You can get the app in the App Store.
And the Play Store.
And exactly the Play Store. That's what's up. I'm not riding solo. My partner in this game is here. What's good, bro?
What's good, everybody? It's another Vibe O'Clock, to another level. And I'm sure today is going to be one big vibe for everybody.
That's what's up. You're going to be learning how to learn. We are going to be learning how to learn. But before that, Vinny has a story to share with us. He's going to take us back in time, back to the days when... Yeah.
Even, it was like, nursery or something?
I think it's primary school, because nursery, I don't think you would pretty much get much of these. I don't know. That's his story. I also have one, because, I also have one. So you want to go first?
I want to go with this one here.
All right, go for it.
So there was a boy named John who was so lazy. He couldn't even bother to change his clothes. One day, he saw that the apple tree in their vineyard was full of fruits. He wanted to eat some apples, but he was so lazy to climb up the tree and take the fruits. So he laid down underneath the tree and waited for the fruits to fall off. John waited and waited until he was very hungry, but the apples never fell. Moral of the story: laziness can get you nowhere. If you want something, you need to work hard for it.
I hope no one finds offense in this story, because laziness gets you nowhere. Some people might find offense. We don't mean to offend anyone.
No,
but if the shoe fits, man, do your wear those Yeezys there. wear what you gotta wear. I've got another one. One.
Okay.
So there was this dog which was starving, walking around the city, and he was starving until he got to a place where he found a bone, but it still had those juicy chunks of meat around it. And so this dog got it, and he's like, I'm not going to chow this now. I'm going to chow this at home so I can really enjoy it. You know, there's a difference, between chowing out and, chowing at home.
At home.
And this dog decides to take it home. Whilst he's on his way home, he sees another dog with another bone and even meatier than his. He looks at his, he looks at that one, he's like, but I want both. This one's nice, but that one also looks nice, so I want both. But where he was next to a river. And so he opened his mouth because he was now drooling over that other one. He opens his mouth, the bone falls, the other dog catches a fright and runs away. Moral of the story, he neither had what he had. He ended up losing what he had. And the one which he was aspiring to have, he also didn't have. Moral of the story, be happy with what you have and stop desiring what others have. And if you want more, fight for it. Don't be like Lazy John. Fight for it, but stop looking at what others have achieved. Do you, stay in your lane, focus on you.
That's what's up. That's some powerful stuff.
Now, I remember that one of the rabbit and the turtle. Do you want to share it with us? Some of the Vibe O'Clockians are acting like, I don't know the stories, man. I don't know the stories. Y'all know exactly these stories. These stories,
I wonder if they still tell these stories till today.
I doubt it.
Because it's meant to be passed on. But anyway.
Yeah, it's true. We're going to talk about
yeah.
that. But yeah, these stories are meant to be passed on. They are meant to be passed on.
This one's a classic. I mean, everybody should know it.
Mm-hmm.
One day, there were these two friends. It was the rabbit and the tortoise. And one day, the rabbit challenged the tortoise to a race.
Mm-hmm.
And looking at the tortoise, he knew already, like, this one here.
Small waters. It's
in the bag already. So the tortoise agreed, and then they had their race. So this rabbit starts running, and then he looks back. He's like, this one here, you'll never get there. Let me pee, and let me take a nap here.
Power nap, ne?
Let me just chill a little bit. 10 minutes. What's 10 minutes in this race? So this guy goes to sleep. Little did he know that this tortoise is still moving.
At his own pace.
At his own pace.
Taking his time, but he's going.
He's going. This rabbit doesn't just sleep for 10 minutes. I think it goes longer than that.
It's like, this guy's still here. 10 minutes, he's still here.
1 hour nap, it's fine. It's not even a nap anymore, it's sleep.
Yeah.
Then he's running. The tortoise is going to the point he reaches the finish line. When that rabbit wakes up, he looks and he's like, yo, what happened here? Where did I mess up? This guy's finished and I'm still here.
And he finished the race.
And to the shame of that rabbit, he lost. There's actually a couple of lessons in the story. One is overconfidence. Once you are overconfident over something, you are more likely to lose in that thing. The tortoise... Arrogance,
Yeah.
The tortoise teaches us the power of perseverance. Even if the odds are stacked against you, everyone says, now you won't make it. Give up. It's not for you. Just keep on going because you can reach that finish line.
Yeah.
Life is not about the strongest, but it's about the most consistent.
Consistency is more important than speed. What is that saying that goes, on your alone you can go fast?
If you want to go far, go alone.
If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go further,
go together.
Go together. That's what's up. I've got one more that I want to share here. This one's interesting because, you guys will draw your conclusions out of it. So there was a scorpion on one side of the riverbank, and he wanted to cross to the other side of the riverbank. So he went to the frog, and is like, "Yo, frog nyanere, can you help me cross the other side of the river?" And the frog is like, "Man, I'd love to help, but you've got that sting right there, and you're gonna sting me to death." He's like, "I won't, bruh. Man, you are gonna man, I know you are gonna sting me." The scorpion tells him, I won't. Man, I won't. I've changed.
I'm a changed man.
I'm a changed man. I'm a changed scorpion.
I'm new.
I'm new. And so the frog is like, no, He kept insisting until the frog gave in and he's like, fine, I'll take you across. You're not going to sting me. Nah, I won't sting you. So he gets on his back. Frog hops in or leaps into the water and he starts swimming across the river. And a few minutes later, the scorpion, he couldn't resist. We just hear the frog, ah! And yes, the scorpion, he did it. He stung him. And the frog turns to him and he's like, brah, you said you were not going to sting me.
What happened?
What happened? You promised me. You gave me your word, bro. The scorpion turns to him and he's crying. He's like, man, I'm so sorry. But stinging is in my nature, man. It's a part of me.
I can't help it.
I can't help it. It's me. It's there. Moral of the story. Where there's flame, there's fire.
Mm-hmm.
Where there's honey, there are bees. In every person, you will see the trait. Stop being naive and accepting everything everyone tells you the way people tell you. Now you guys are wondering, why are we starting the Vibe O'Clock with this here, telling you guys stories? Why are we telling you folklore stories? Stories which were passed on from generation to generation to generation to generation. Why? Why are we doing this today? Considering that our theme here is learning how to learn. We're going to be teaching you, or we're going to be learning how to learn. Why is it? I think you guys need to digest. We told you 4 stories.
Yes.
I want to know which one you found interesting. I still got one more. I'm not going to let this one slide, but
okay.
After the break, I'm going to bring one more. And if you've got one to share with us, feel free to share it here in the comment section. We're going to be reading. You are listening to the Vibe O'Clock at YPG RSA and on Freedom on Air. We got too much sauce.
Face it, God is good, patience, 'cause I know in time you will see when you taste it. And I know, face it, God is good, patience, 'cause I know in time you will see when you taste it. And be still and know you are never alone. In your darkest of times, God is still in control. And faith is not porcelain in storms disproportionate. Play this song when you need it. God is working in secret. Face it, God is good, patience, 'cause I know in time you will see when you taste it. And I know, face it, God is good, patience, 'cause I know in time you will see when you taste it. You say don't worry, but I do. I'm in need of you. Tomorrow's coming and it's coming way too soon. But I know you're good to us. I know I should just trust you. So I will, 'cause you'll never fail me yet. Face it, God is good, patience, 'cause I know in time you will see when you taste it. And I know, face it, God is good, patience, 'cause I know in time you will see when you taste it. Patience.
stressed or you're feeling down, maybe even alone? Well, the YPG is here for you. Do you want to vent? Call us on our toll-free helpline number on 0800 330 320 or DM us on Facebook or Instagram at YPG RSA. You are not alone.
Without a doubt, you are not alone. And if you're listening to the Vibe O'Clock solo, you are listening alone. If you did not share this link, we need a story about those who do not share
Share links.
YPG
links.
YPG links, not just
Yeah, not
links.
just
Because
any
if you're
links.
sending rubbish, it's all good. I'm talking about specifically YPG links. Sibusiso shared here a story which is amazing. I remember this one. I think one of the first times I went to the schools, I learned this lesson, and I won't even need to read it, about the two frogs who were stuck in a pit. They were caught up in a pit, and they were trying to get out of that pit. And the rest of the community of frogs started to scream and tell them, "You're not going to make it. You're not going to make it. You're not going to make it." And they kept trying, but eventually one gave up. He realized, really, there's no way I'm going to get out of here. And the other one, on the other hand, kept trying. They're like, "You're not going to make it. You're going to die. There's nothing you can do. You're stuck in there, and there's really nothing that can be done. There's no way for us to get you out of there. You're not going to make it." And then it got to a point where they started screaming louder and louder and louder and telling him, "You're not going to make it. You're stuck into that pit. You're not going to make it." And the more they would scream, "You're not going to make it," the more he was fighting to get out, until there was a moment where he just did this crazy leap and he managed to get out. When he got out of that pit, they noticed that he wasn't saying anything. And only after did the family of that frog pitch and tell them that he was deaf. The first frog died, but this one made it out. Moral of the story: because he was deaf to the negativity, he instead used it as a step ladder for him to get out of that situation. When he looked up and they were screaming, he thought they were telling him, "Come, you can do it, you can do it." So their negativity actually became to him a boost for him to make it.
Ironically, there's a story, same moral, about ants going up a hill.
Mm-hmm.
And there was this one ant who would just see everyone hitting a U-turn.
Mm-hmm.
And he was asking himself, why is everybody making a U-turn? Why is everyone going back? Because they have to gather food. Is it for the winter, I think? Yeah, for whichever season it is.
Yeah.
And then he's going. And now he sees everybody waving at him like, "Stop." And someone shouting at him like, "Hey, stop, go back. And everyone is hitting a U-turn and like, is this guy crazy? Because the story was that at the top of the hill, there was a spider eating all the ants. So they were all hitting a U-turn.
Mm-hmm.
Now this one keeps on going. And everybody's shouting at him, waving hands like, "Hey, stop, come on. You're going to die.
Yeah,
Stop."
yeah.
He goes. He reaches the top. There's no spider. There's nothing. He just sees, I think someone was having a picnic and there were crumbs left. And then he started just bringing everything back. And everybody looked at him like, "Man, what did you see over there? What did you see?" But the thing is, he couldn't answer because he's deaf.
Yeah.
So he didn't hear anyone like trying to stop him,
The negativity never stopped him.
Exactly. The doubts, whatever it is, it didn't stop him. He just kept on going and he got what no one else got.
That's what's up. So now you guys are wondering, why in the Vibe O'Clock are you guys telling us animal stories? Are you going to start rereading
Children's
Animal
stories.
Farm here or something? No. We are just learning how to learn. And an interesting thing is that nature has just so much to teach us. Nature is amazing. There are many other stories which we could share here right now, but we're not going to be stuck to these. What are we trying to share with you today is that In everything in life and through everyone in life, there is something that you can learn. There is a lesson for us to learn. Whether a positive outcome or a negative outcome, there is always a lesson to be learned. And nature, the reason why we're telling you these animal ones is because nature is one of the best advisors ever. It teaches you the simple, what you plant is what you reap. Literally, what you plant today, it might take you a while to harvest. It might take you a while to reap. But the fact is, the day will come, you are going to reap it. Nature teaches us that.
Yes.
Nature teaches us to never try to abbreviate time. I was speaking earlier to the disciples about, you see the food we eat today, they are garbage. Even the vegetables we eat, they aren't really the best. They aren't good. Reason being, most industries, most companies, the leading companies which provide us with the food we need, they try to abbreviate the growth with growth hormones to either the animals or to the vegetables' growth, to the plants that we need to eat. And therefore, it doesn't supply us with the necessary nutrients, which means when you don't respect time, somehow you're going to pay for it. Time is not free.
You can't rush things.
You can't rush things. You can't take time and think that time is going to be cool with that. You're going to take time out of something, you are going to pay for it. You see, a baby born prematurely, the chances of survival is less than a child born within the 9 months, which is normal. And I mean, that's usually something that's not in the hands of anyone. But in nature, you need to be careful. A child that's born prematurely, usually they stay longer in the incubator, they stay longer in the hospital until the child is, I could say, ripe.
Yeah.
We don't eat fruits which aren't ripe. Some people like it a little less ripe. Others, I like it perfectly ripe. I like it sweet. I like it a bit soft. Other people like it a little bit less. I have a friend who likes it like the banana. He likes it a little bit green. That's okay. But some people, that's him.
Preferences.
But you don't eat it before that certain point when you can't eat it at all. When it's sour or bitter, you eat it at the right time. Everything in life, not just in nature, but in life itself, there is a lesson to be learned.
What I just want to add on something you're saying. How do you get all these understandings and all these ideas, like the lessons of nature? A human being needed to sit down and observe things.
Yeah.
He needed to, as you're saying now, take time and see, okay, if I plant a seed, how long will it take to grow? If I do this, what will happen to that? If I add water to my plant, what will happen to it? If I take it out of the sun, what will happen to it? All of this is observation.
Yeah.
And I think that's where learning starts.
Yeah.
Learning to observe, to see what everything is trying to tell you, because life is actually talking to you every single moment.
Non-stop.
But the question now is, are we stopping to actually observe what it's trying to tell us, the signs it's giving us, the lessons? There's always that moment where we go, I don't know what to do. But life is actually trying to show you what to do.
Precisely.
But do you stop to actually observe?
Global warming is a sign. But do human beings stop polluting the air? No, they don't.
Not at all.
Not at all. Not at all. The signs are there. And another thing which we need to learn to observe, after observing, is humbleness to learn. And when I say humbleness, it's not just learning from those who are ahead of you, above you, more experienced than you, but learning from everyone. Understanding that each and every human being has a lesson to teach you. Children can teach you.
Yes.
An amazing thing. I mean, forgiveness, learn it from a child. You want to learn forgiveness, learn it from a child.
What about courage? A baby's not afraid to climb, on the furniture and move around and go and, jump and explore. But as they get older, it dies out. It's a lesson.
A child is fearless.
It's fearless.
You need to watch a child, because a child will do all those crazy things. As we grow, fear becomes greater. The things we have courage to do today. The other day I went to a place and I was in a rock like this and I wanted to jump from it. And it's something which was nothing for me a couple of years ago. At that moment, a biblical verse came to my mind, thou shalt not tempt the Lord. And I was like, what on earth is going on? Because I've grown up, and as we grow up, fear comes when we're babies. And I was even going to add exactly what Caroline said here. When babies fall, they get up again. And the funny thing is, they just get up. It was actually funny. We had one of our YPG members who she has a little baby, and she was at the back in the hangout, and her baby was he's like a 2-year-old kid. He was running up and down, left and right. And there was a time where he fell.
Okay.
And then I turned to her and I'm like, ignore him. Don't look at him. And then she ignored him. He looked at her. He looked at me. He saw that we were both ignoring him. He got up and he started running again. It's so amazing. Children are so amazing. So for us to say, no, I don't have to learn from the less experienced, that's just not intelligent. Dikoketso here says, I'm a teacher and every day I learn from the children. I've learned to love my job. Interesting, because usually people say being a teacher nowadays is hell. She's learned to love her job because out of that situation, she's learning a lesson. And that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to go for one more break. And when we come back, we're going to show to you the vision you need to have, the signs you need to observe, the humbleness required for you to learn in anything and in everything. You are listening to the Vibe O'Clock on Freedom on Air / at YPG RSA, Facebook and YouTube. We're going to be right back.
Feeling lonely, depressed, having suicidal thoughts, or just want to vent? The YPG's got you. Hit us up now on Facebook or Instagram at YPGRSA. Alternatively, call the toll-free helpline number at 0800 330 320.
Welcome back. You were listening to the Vibe O'Clock, and I was laughing here on my own. I didn't even share this with Vinny. I'll share him with him on air. Is that the Vibe O'Clock comment section never disappoints. When it's time to be savage, they can be really savage. But when it's time to be insightful, you guys can be deep. And I see here that you guys are sending some powerful lessons here. I liked this one where Aldazan was saying that trust is another lesson we can learn from babies. They will only jump into their parents' arms. And Vinny was even mentioning that when a child is afraid or feeling intimidated, he runs behind his parents. He runs behind the one he trusts. Trust is something which we learn to lose as we age.
Mm-hmm.
Kids trust easily.
Yes.
What did our parents teach us when we were kids? Don't talk to strangers.
Yes.
Don't get kids, because they knew that it was so easy for us to trust people.
Mm-hmm.
We get older, we stop trusting people. We stop trust. Of course, I'm not saying you should be naive, but sometimes we cease trusting someone because somebody else broke our trust. Because of someone else's breakage of trust, now we don't trust anybody. Be careful with that. Be careful with that insecurity. Tapela was saying babies don't know what is hate. You can do something to them and they will cry for a while, wipe away their tears and come to smile with you again. And not even remind you of what you did. That is so true. Kids can be easily bought. Dorcas says, reminds me of the parable of the bamboo tree. Teaches us lessons about patience, faith, perseverance, growth, and development. And for the first 5 years, it seems like nothing is happening. It's really a profound lesson. And Vini was even saying that it's a very flexible,
very flexible
tree.
If the wind blows, it moves according to the wind. If it's strong, if it's soft, it doesn't break. It just moves with it.
Precisely. And Offensive says learning how to learn involves unlearning and relearning. Sounds repetitive, right? That's the whole point. And really, unlearning is part of learning. Unlearning, how do we say it? Mistrust, distrust, unlearning greed, like the story or the parable of the dog who wanted all the bones. Unlearning arrogance, as the case of the rabbit. And you can name it. You can name it. There are many things which we need to unlearn and many things which we need to relearn. I was checking someone's textbook the other day, and I was thinking if I had to do maths, high school maths, I don't think I would be able to do it again, at least not without relearning. I would have to go back to the basics and actually relearn it. Simple things, I would have to relearn it because I haven't done it in a while. So this is so important. And one thing I want us to understand here is that every single day brings a lesson to us. Every single day teaches us something new. And Ecclesiastes, right? Or is it Proverbs, which speaks about the ant?
I think it's 6 or 5 somewhere.
Go to the ants. Even the ants have a lesson to teach us.
Even the clouds, remember. It says the one who observes the cloud and waits if the weather is, right for them to plant.
Yeah.
They might never get what they want.
And amazing, the nature, the Lord Jesus used it a lot. The disciples, they used it a lot. Mm-hmm. How nature just has so much to teach. As you said about observing the wind, the Lord Jesus spoke about the ravens and the birds were taken care of, teaching us not to worry that if they're taken care of, imagine us, we're worth more than many of them. So, I want you to stop and think about it. What are the lessons which life is trying to teach you, but you have been stubborn to learn? And I do believe that the longer you take to learn a lesson, the harder it is to learn and the more painful it is. It's like removing your tonsils at a young age and removing your tonsils at an older age. It's like removing your wisdom tooth at a young age and removing it at an old age. the older you get, the harder it is, the more painful it is, the more recovery is needed, as opposed to when you are young. So I want each and every one of us to understand that every single moment of our lives, and I mean every, literally every, whether the good, whether the bad, it is an opportunity. There is an opportunity for us to learn. Even the bad things you did, learn from them. Learn not to do them again. The bad examples around you, learn not to follow the bad examples. And the bad decisions other people took, learn from them as well. The good things. And it's in the hard times, it's in the difficulties, it's in the challenging situations where we learn more than the good ones. The good ones don't teach us as much. The good ones, sometimes a person takes years to achieve something, and when he achieves that, he becomes arrogant and he thinks, I don't need anybody, I've got it, I'm sorted, it's done and dusted.
I think the worst thing is to be someone who is hard to actually learn. You speaking about arrogance now and pride. You know, when you tell yourself you reach the point where I know everything.
Yeah.
I personally don't like being around someone who always says I know, because it's so dragging. It's sad. It's a sad conversation.
You can't have a conversation with that person because, like, you know,
it's annoying. But now when you have, when there's someone who's curious, like, wow, what do you mean? Can you teach me more? You see that it's even more pleasant.
Yeah.
It's enjoyable to be around such a person.
It's true.
But now when you think you know everything, like, you're going to be lonely, you're going to be annoying, and one day you're going to hit your head against the wall. And because you are so hard-headed, you're going to keep banging your head against the wall.
That's true. The wall even says, ouch, because you're so hard-headed. Even the wall is feeling pain for you, but you keep insisting. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. And unfortunately, there is no progress there. There is absolutely no progress. In life, we need to progress. In life, we need to advance, of which it's only possible you observe the signs and you learn to be humble. I repeat, from every single human being, the good and the bad. I was thinking the other day about famous people who made history, but they made history not for the good, but for the bad. Someone like Hitler. Think about this, Vinny.
Okay.
How did that guy manage to convince people to kill 6 million Jews? One man. And you know what's interesting? Let me take it a step further. I wasn't even going to remember this, but I just remembered. Hitler's downfall was the moment he no longer wanted to listen to his generals.
Ooh, I forgot about that detail.
Hitler's downfall, because Germany became that superpower, and honestly speaking, he was going to take over the world.
He was.
What killed him was the moment he said, I don't need to listen to anybody. I want you guys to advance. And the war, when they decided, let's get into Russia. Let's go there. And the general was like, it's too cold for the soldiers. And it's like, whatever happens, do not surrender.
Boom.
He surrendered. He's like, I don't care what Hitler says anymore. And then this one's also, I'm not going to listen to this guy anymore. And before he knew it, his downfall was that he was no longer listening, and they were boycotting him. They were afraid of him, but they were boycotting him. But the fact is that he was so influential, and he stood by his belief so much that he managed to do something so gruesome, so disgusting. He killed over 6 million people. Now, you cannot say that he wasn't a visionary.
Nope.
A visionary for evil. But imagine if he was a visionary for good.
Wow.
Think about it. Imagine if Hitler had been a visionary for good. Or think about any other a dictator who lived or lives. I don't remember anyone that's still living. I'm sure there are, but the ones who lived, who we can say, my goodness, if that guy had put his strength to doing good, if these famous cartel leaders would put put their strength in business rather than drug business, because for them it's business either way. But I'm talking about good business, legitimate legal business, legal stuff, paying taxes for it. If you stop and you think about it, you can't say they're not visionaries. But the fact is they've been using it for other kinds of achievements. And unfortunately, the results are other. They have to live with their head over their shoulders, always worried, always wondering what's going to happen, always concerned about their enemies, always concerned about who's coming for them, always running from the law, always looking over their shoulder. They can be rich, they can have power, but the fact is they don't have peace. All because people choose to learn their way, to do things their way. If they could take the lessons which they've learned of achievement and applied it for good, I can only imagine where they would achieve, what they would achieve.
Everything has a lesson. It's crazy. I know you spoke about people, but even objects have lessons. The famous one of the clock. It doesn't stop moving.
Yeah.
And the other thing is the human body.
Yeah.
Sit in a position for an hour without moving. What happens to you?
Feel terrible.
You feel terrible, you have cramps.
Stiff and cramps and stuff, yeah.
Because we were made to move.
The eyes, your eyes are in front of your head, not behind, which means look forward, don't look behind. Your feet face forward, they don't face backwards. Move forward. We were not made to look backwards.
This is too powerful because that's a lesson on itself. Just the positioning of everything is a lesson.
Yeah.
It's telling you where life is heading. It's forward, not backwards. So if you keep looking back, if you keep living in the past, it means you never learnt the lesson. You are still arrogant in that belief that, no, I was like this, I was born like this, they said this about me. Nah, put that aside. Life is telling you forward, not backwards.
That's true. Yandiswa says, arrogance is where the danger is. That's definitely the surest path to failure, without a doubt. And Offense adds by saying, come to think of it, humbleness is the key to learning. That's it. That's how you learn to learn. Learn to be humble. Learn to take advice, not only from those above you, not only from your authorities, not only from your elders, but to take advice as well from those who are less than you. We do things in the YPG, the work which we do, but none of this work goes without the advice and the ideas which the coordinators, not only here in Joburg but throughout the country, they share with us. Today we had our conference with the whole country, all the coordinators and the mentors. They were connected, discussing the work. I had my share to pass on to them, but they also had things to share with me, ideas to share, some text, others through, that we all have a lesson to learn. When it's a dark cloud, you learn from the dark cloud. When it's a sunny day, you learn from the sunny day. And keep your eyes focused on whatever you are planning to achieve, but learn along the way. I'm going to have to wrap this up here, mentioning a very sad story which we woke up today. Everybody, I believe, by now has heard the passing of the famous rapper here in South Africa. And it's interesting how death makes everybody to think.
Yes,
he's passed away. He's faced the tragedy, and our condolences obviously to the family, and our prayers that God may comfort the family. But do you see how everybody starts getting freaked out through the death? But how many will actually take the lesson? Take the lesson of life. I'm not here to say anything about whether he should have been. I'm not here. That's not my job. What happened? Who did it? That's not my business. I'm no forensic scientist, and I'm not here for that. What I'm saying is that when death strikes, everybody stops to think about life. Everyone, go on Twitter, go on Facebook, everybody starts thinking about life. Oh, life is short. Guys, take care of life. You never know when it could be your last. It's true. But everything in life reminds us that all that it takes for us to die is to be alive.
So true.
And then many live with the famous YOLO, you only live once. why don't you look at it the other way around? If you only live once, using that line of thought, should you not use that one life you live wisely instead of recklessly? Because YOLO is an excuse to live recklessly. Why don't you live it wisely instead of recklessly?
As they say, you only know what you have until it's gone.
You only know what you have until it's gone. Guys, that's basically it, wrapping up what we had to say to you today. We hope that you learned how to learn. And we do hope that we could add some sort of benefit, even if it's 1%, that's more than enough for us. Even if we could add a drop into your life of changes. And that's what we're here for, and that's what the YPG fam is all about. All right. In the morrows, we're going to be having the YPG hangout throughout South Africa. The rear view mirror. The rear view mirror. Keep going. It's a lesson. You guys, another one. Yeah, no pun intended. Another one.
Another one.
Yeah, so I hope you guys will be joined with us throughout South Africa. Our YPG fam in Soweto, our YPG fam in Qwaqwa, in Nelspruit, in Cape Town, in Park Station, in Maritzburg, in Polokwane, in all the branches, all the branches, the YPG fam will be sharing this. Some branches are 1 p.m., others are 12:30 or 12. You guys pick which one you guys want to. Well, not pick. You guys find out what is the time exactly in your respective branch, and we are going to be sharing this with you. It's going to be interesting. I want to announce to all of you that we're no longer going to be having the war of the war.
I was about
ceasefire.
to ask.
There's a ceasefire. As the coordinator of the YPG, I have called the ceasefire. We have ordered the ceasefire.
Okay.
From all the branches. There is no more poking and picking on anyone. Because why? Because hashtag the YPG is everywhere. Because instead of us putting all of our strength in dissing and picking on one another, why don't we put our strength in reaching out to those who are lost, who are confused, who are lonely and afraid, those who are needy. And by the way, you can put us on full screen. I want everybody to hear this. The person who shared the advice about this here was one of our YPG mentors. So I could have taken that and said, who are you to tell us? Who are you to tell?
Us what to do.
It was a vision which she shared, and she's like, PJ, why don't we put our strength in that instead of us doing this? And some people might take it into the wrong context and think that we are shooting at each other, and that obviously we know that we were just joking, of course. But I'm letting you guys know that we're putting our strength. I mean, I know that you guys were going to come hard. I received it here. I did not watch. I'll even watch alone. I will watch. I know that it was funny. I'm pretty sure that you guys, and we're not retiring Sean. I know you guys are going to be sad and be like, Sean is gone. No, guys, Sean is not gone. Sean, usually
Sean.
In Park Station, they call him Sean. So he's not gone. He will be back, but we're going to be aiming our strength on hashtag YPGs everywhere. And the movement officially begins this week. Those of you who are not on Twitter, make sure that you get Twitter. Follow at YPGRSA. And I want to urge all the YPG members to encourage others to follow our pages. Not because we want followers. That does not interest us. But for them to have the chance and the opportunity to see the work of the YPG and to know that there is hope. Those who are depressed, those who are lonely, those who are afraid, those who are bullied, those who are scarred because of their past, those who are hurt, that they may know, indeed, as Yandisa says, we are together as one. All right, so I'm calling the ceasefire here. Officially, there is no more war, but there is unity because in the YPG, we are together as one. That's it. Any final words, Mr. Vinny?
You said it all. You said it all.
I saw this week an interview of Uncle Vinny. No, he was trending on Twitter. Then I remembered you.
I heard about this.
And then I remembered you, man. Like, I remembered you. We want you to do the... Yeah. Yeah.
Nah.
Oh, yeah. Don't you think we should that challenge we could have? I think that challenge we can have, guys. I'm pretty sure.
If PJ does it with me.
Guys, I'll see you. Bye-bye. Okay? All the best. Hashtag YPGs everywhere.
Everywhere.
We're going to start it this week. You guys can already start using it, but we're going to have an official day where all of us on Twitter will be there. Hashtag YPGs everywhere. Get your blue, white. There's no red here. We're going to find red somewhere. Here's red behind me here.
Yes,
so
there we go. There's YPG
blue,
right there.
There's a YPG. There we go. There's our colors. Blue, white, and red. Hashtag YPGs everywhere. Post it, especially on Twitter. We're going to be trending this week. I'll confirm the day. Everybody's going to get busy trending. All right? God bless you all. Not forgetting that in the YPG, we are taking it to another level. We're out of here.
Are you feeling depressed or are you feeling down? Maybe even alone? Well, the YPG is here for you. Do you want to vent? Call us on our toll-free helpline number on 0800 330 320 or DM us on Facebook or Instagram at YPG RSA. You are not alone.